Alright, guys. I sincerely apologize. Uh, Nigeria, God, I beg. I think tomorrow I'm going to make sure I change my internet provider so that I don't have to experience this kind of thing. I'm actually using MTN, right? And I thought that you just bear with me. Just bear with me. Let's quickly just finish what we have. Right. I'm not sure I'm halfway through my notes, but yes. So these are applications of illustrations. And my audio is back. All right, audio is back. So these are application of illustrations, telling stories, uh, vector-based art, right? Colors, shapes, right? Just basically interesting. These are under application of illustration. So the fourth one that I'll be explaining for the sake of this class, is motion graphics, right? So motion graphics, of course, as the name implies, is that you are um, turning static, you are bringing static, visuals to life. You are bringing your static flyer, adding some sort of movement, adding some moving elements, right? So I'm going to show you an example of motion graphics. Of course, motion graphic ranges from explainer videos, uh, you know, uh, launch videos. A lot of these our startups, across Africa, have a lot of explainer videos, animations, right? See some 3D animations under this motion graphic. So this is an example of a motion graphic. Uh, this is an example of a motion graphic. So it's just illustrations. I want to see if I can allow the desktop audio. It doesn't have a sound. So this is an example. This is an example of motion graphics, right? Motion graphics. So the whole idea is just to communicate but not just do it in a generic way where everything is just static. It's possible that these illustrations bringing some sort of movement and building appearing could have just been one illustration, right? But this movement added some sort of life to it. Are we together? So that's that on motion graphics. Just let me know if you're still here, and then you can share the link so that people that were probably lost on the first screen will be able to join in again. All right. So that's that on motion graphics. So other aspects of design we might probably find are uh, uh, 3D designs, right? And all of this. But I do not want to waste too much time, so I'm just going to jump into the next thing I want to explain, right? And that is the elements of graphic design. So I already mentioned at the beginning that there were such things as visual elements of graphic design. Now I need you to pay attention to this part because I want to be very practical in this aspect of the lesson, right? I want to be as practical as this aspect of the lesson. So just follow me, right? Just follow me. That's why I did not make a slide for this. I want to be as practical as possible so that you get my point, right? So principles of graphic design. So what are the principles of graphic design? I'm going to list them out here. We have lines, increase this. So we have lines, right? We have lines, we have shapes, we have color, right? We have space, right? I will explain this four majorly, right? So what are lines? Of course, line is distance between a to another point. So this is the line. This is the line. Yeah. So this is the line. This is an example of a line, right? But it's not showing. So yeah, this is an example of a line, and line is very very crucial aspect of design. A very very crucial aspect of design. So this is a line, right? This is a line. So of course, line can vary in thickness, right? So it's still the same line, oh, but now it's thicker. Do you understand? Yes, same line, but now it's thicker. So that's line, right? So let's do a few applications of line. How do we apply line in our design? Of course, there are different. There are other forms of line, oh. And another form of line is zigzag, right? That now the tool I'm using is Figma, so you actually don't need to worry about it, right? So this is a zigzag line. Let me increase it. So this is a zigzag line, right? Let's make it more interesting. So, uh, see, all right. So this is also the zigzag line, but now there is it's softer, right? It's giving waves, right? So this is another instance of line. This is another instance of line. Um, just pay attention, then we'll find some sort of application to some of these things, how we can apply them to our design. So let's do another one. Right? Let's do another line. Uh, okay, I don't think that's working, but just follow me. Another form of line is dotted line. Actually, let me make it. So yeah, this is another example of line, right? A dotted line. So of course, uh, we can create a circular form, right? Now you don't need to worry about these things that I'm doing. When we have time, we can maybe learn about Figma, right? Fundamentals, the beginning part, right? So, but I'm just trying to explain the concept of line. You don't need to worry about the tool I'm using. And by the way, Figma is like open to everybody, so you don't need to worry about maybe at the beginning you don't need to worry about payment and all of those things. All of these things that I did now is just to explain the concept of lines, right? It's already making sense. It's looking like a design already. Let's just put text here. Line, right? Line. See, it's already coming together. Do you understand? All right. So now let's look at a few applications. How can we use line in our design, right? How can we use line in our design? Out, right? So how can we use line in our design? So just pay attention. Um, let's say I want to write a quote. Let's say um, creativity, creativity is creativity, creativity is your right. So I'm explaining this concept because there's a way we can actually explain these things that they will look very, very abstract. Like there's a way I can start to bombard you with these informations and they will look very far fetched. They will not look like something that is very applicable. And that is why I decided not to create a slide on it. And I just want to be able to teach you guys from um I just want to be able to teach you guys by myself, right? So I'm looking for a particular form. Okay. All right. So creativity, pardon. So I just want to show us a few applications of line, how we can use line in our design. So let's say you want to create a quote, right, for maybe one of your favorite um create or something, right? So creativity. Okay, all right, just pay attention, right? We're almost there. Almost. So creativity is your POV. So how can line help us improve this design, right? Let's start here. So I want to create an outline, right? That that will just be around that. It's already making sense already. We've not done too much, right? We've not even done anything. It's just a black and white text, right? So let me add a line here. Let me add another line. Right? So let's give it some space. Are you guys seeing this already? This is already making sense, right? Without doing too much, right? Without doing too much. Just line and text. And when you look at infographics, so uh, let's quickly check out infographics, right? Infographic, right? So when you check out infographics, largely, right? What you find in infographics are a lot of lines. Okay, infographics. Okay, this is an example, right? You see, you find lines, you find the use of lines, right? You find the use of lines to create some sort of demarcation. Okay, this is where this particular idea stops, right? This is where number two is. This is where number three is. This is where number four is, right? So yes, so that's all right. You can see how this is already coming together, right? Without too much anything, right? You can print this on a t-shirt. You can print this. You can make it a wallpaper. You can make it a wallpaper and stuff like that and stuff like that. So yeah, that's that online online, right? Let's try out. Let's use that line for something.